What if I told you ChatGPT is like a toolbox filled with power tools, and yet you're still using this tiny little screwdriver to fix everything? Because the truth is, most people are only using 10% of ChatGPT's potential, if that. As someone who spends every freaking day building AI products in my company, Martell Ventures, I'm going to show you 24 hidden ChatGPT features that will save you hours, automate the most annoying repetitive tasks, and help you make smarter decisions faster. And at the end, I'm actually going to give you 3 bonus GPT features, one for my fellow iPhone users, another that basically jailbreaks ChatGPT to make it do whatever you want, and the last one will change the way you use the whole internet forever. All right, let's start with some quick, fun ones. Hack number 1, personalities. You can switch ChatGPT's tone, perspective, even the way it freaking talks to you to match your needs. Maybe you're feeling a little spicy. Maybe you want something less verbose. Maybe you don't want it to be so nice. I don't know, but you can change it. Here's how we do it. You go to Profile, Settings, then you go to Personalization, and under Personalization, you'll see this little section called Custom Instructions. There's chatty, there's witty, there's encouraging if you need a little bit more pep in your responses. My favorite is Gen Z. Like, come on. You can even put preset instructions. For example, I want you to be direct and ruthless. Don't sugarcoat things or agree with me for the sake of it. ChatGPT acts like a Canadian. It is like the nicest, polite, never argues with you. That's not going to push your life forward. So change that setting and see what it does from a personality point of view. And by the way, I'm Canadian, so I can say that. Hack number 2, tell ChatGPT who you are. Let's just call it GPT for short. Essentially, GPT performs better when it knows you. How do you do it? Well, same thing. We go to our profile, bottom left, click Personalization, and underneath that, it says About You, where it says More About You. That's where you enter in 2 or 3 lines that tells them about who you are. Talk about your occupation, your desires, what you're working on. Mine, for example, is I'm Dan, CEO that builds AI companies, and I create YouTube videos teaching people how to scale their business. Short and sweet, but that context makes the response way more personal to who I am. If you're not doing this, you're wasting your time. Now, it'll know more about you every time you start a conversation. Hack number 3, memory. This one's huge. Essentially, GPT has the ability for it to remember things about you, maybe projects you're working on or preferences that you like in life, but you can actually tweak this in the settings. You go in the same place under Personalization, Memory, and there's actually a section where you can click through and see what it's already recorded of you and delete stuff if it's not accurate. In the Personalization, there's a memory section, and next to it, there's a button that says Manage. Click that and you'll see everything it knows about you. Don't be scared. You can choose to tell GPT not to share that with anybody else, but it makes it a lot easier. So for example, it sees in there that I was training for a sub 4-hour marathon with a current half marathon PR of 1:58, with my race day being October 5th. So every time I'm talking about training, it could actually reference that to make the training recommendations more specific. Hack number 4, change your theme. This one's so simple, but it makes it fun. If you don't have a favorite color or you don't have a thought on dark or light mode, you should. You just go back to your profile, general, then click appearance. The themes are pretty straightforward. You can change the language, the voice. You can even choose the accent color. I choose blue because it's part of my brand. But the appearance itself, you can go dark or light mode. So try it out, see what it does. You might like it better. Now, before I move on to the next hack, if you're an entrepreneur and you're like trying to keep up on this AI stuff while you're friggin' maxed out on your time, I totally get it. You're running a business today, managing a team and trying to figure out how to integrate this AI on top of all of that, that can be tough. That's why I want to give you my internal AI company OS playbook. It's the exact frameworks that I use to plug in AI into every department in all my companies that actually buys back my time. So just grab your copy below by clicking the first link in the description or just scan the QR code on the screen. Now, next tool. Hack number 5, voice mode. All right, you chatty chatters, you know who you are. Look, you can actually have a human-like conversation with GPT. A lot of people don't know about it. It is how I interact with GPT most of the time. Here's how you do it. On your phone, you literally go to the app and you click this beautiful little black wavy type icon and a blue bubble is going to show up. Now I get to talk. Hey, ChatGPT, are you there?
Absolutely here and ready to jump in. Feel free to toss anything my way.
All right, can you talk faster? You know me, I like it short and concise, be very clear. Essentially, I'm trying to explain AI to my 10-year-old nephew. How would you describe it to somebody just trying to learn this stuff?
Absolutely. I can speed it up and keep it super simple. So I'd say to your nephew, hey, AI is basically like a really smart robot brain that learns patterns from a bunch of stuff people show it, and then it can help you answer questions or do fun tasks. It's like teaching a pet tricks, but the pet lives in a computer. How's that?
Love it. Love the metaphor. You're awesome. Thank you. Have an amazing day. Bye. I mean, it's so easy. It's funny because like oftentimes my kids will grab my phone and just click it and start asking it random questions about the cities that we're traveling in. It's the best. It's great for brainstorming while you're walking, if you're going on a run. And trust me, it knows when you're talking versus not talking. So you can interrupt it. You can play with it. You can give it a bunch of information and it'll actually come back. You can do this on a computer too, but I use it almost exclusively on my phone. Hack number 6, camera mode. This one's for my camera folks. You know, the ones that are always taking pictures? Since you like taking pictures, you might as well get better at AI. What's beautiful is you can actually show GPT objects in your environment and use it to get feedback on what you're looking at, how to fix something. I use it all the time. So the way to get to it, because most people can't find it, is you go to the voice mode and then there's the camera icon that'll light up once I've got connection. See that? So I go like this and I say, hey, what kind of plant is that?
Oh, I see it. That plant definitely looks like a Dracaena, one of those tall, leafy houseplants that are pretty forgiving indoors.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Thanks for that. It's so cool. You can point it at everything and it'll help you out. I have a few cool cars and unfortunately I don't know how the cars all work. So I'm often taking a picture of a car and saying, where's the battery in this? How do I disconnect this? There's a light that's on in my dash. What does it mean? I use a camera mode almost every day. The other day I was traveling in Barcelona with my kids and my team was teaching my kid Max on how to use it to actually get really cool information about all these paintings he was looking at. Because he's like, I don't care about freaking old paintings. Essentially, he just pointed the camera to the painting and it would just start telling him about what they were looking at. It made it interesting for him and he enjoyed being at the museum. Hack number 7, projects. This one is like a folder on your computer that has all of the information about a project all in one place. Do you have projects? That's what I thought. Are you using the projects folder? No, you got it. What it does is it centralizes all the information about your project so you can prompt directly with it, ask it questions, give it new information, grab emails. Like it's everything specific around an outcome you're trying to achieve. So here's how you do it. You literally go on the left side, it says projects, expand it, hit new projects. Then you give it a name. So you could say opening up a new location. And you can put all the files around opening up that location. I mean, talk about plans and diagrams and emails and conversations. You just like drop it all in there. Then you can prompt and say, hey, these are the locations I'm considering. What are other ones I haven't considered based on the best practices of my industry? And it might analyze everything you've given it and say, well, you know what? This corner on this area of the city is actually a better one based on where you're at now. One of my favorite hacks is exporting an email thread as a PDF and just uploading it to have more context. So sometimes your emails are outside of projects, but you can just get them in there really quick by doing print to PDF. It can do some advanced things. I use it for analyzing real estate deals. I look at it for analyzing investments. I pretty much look at it for anything that's considered a project in my life. And the next time you use a new prompt in that project, it'll use the previous conversation as context to answer that question. Hack number 8. Canvas. Essentially, it allows you to write, edit, and perfect any output directly in ChatGPT, just like as if Google Docs was built in. Here's how you work it. Essentially, in any chat, you can either click the plus drop down and go to more and see canvas, and then it knows to do it as a canvas. I never do it that way. I literally just say, create an email and put it in a canvas, and then it'll just do that. You'll notice that it's a little different. You have this little edit icon. Here's where it gets awesome. You can type anything. You can say, make it more concise, write it in the tone of Dan Martell, and essentially it knows who you are. So you can say your name. And then again, you'll see it kind of like scan through it and it'll update that message based on what you asked it to do. You can change the tone. You can be more direct. You can say no bull. You could say, go do some research and update it using these best practices, whatever you want. And then it saves it with version history. And my favorite part is you can actually change things in there. So if I say the main reason, I say the right way, and then so you can edit it, whatever. And then the cool part is sometimes I'll say, write me the system prompt that would have gotten this output quicker. That is just a cool way to like work on something and then use ChatGPT to tell you how you could have told it to get to that place faster for next time. And if you don't know what system prompts are, just watch the video that I tag at the end of this one because I go deep on that one. Hack number 9, reminders and schedules. Did you know you can automate tasks, reminders, repeat them daily, weekly, monthly within ChatGPT? It's very simple. Watch. Remind me every morning at 9 a.m. to check new AI tools. It will literally set a reminder and tell you. My favorite one is to say, hey, every morning go research and find the top new AI information about small businesses and how I can use it better, and then send me an email. Most people don't realize that ChatGPT can help you with any kind of reminders, scheduling, etc. The way you set it up is go to Profile, Personalization, and then you go to Schedules, and then that's where you go to Manage, and it's all there. And then under your notifications, you can choose how you want to get notified as well. Hack number 10, deep research mode. What this does is you tell ChatGPT to do a deep research project. Don't just give me the quickest answer. I want you to actually go search the internet, verify information, make sure that what you give me back is real data, real anecdotes, real connections. So the way you do that is in your prompt, you hit the plus icon and you say deep research. Now you can say, find me an open sports bar in Dubai playing the Super Bowl. Now it's going to go all over the internet to find places that have the Super Bowl being streamed at that sports bar. If you don't do stuff like that, it doesn't work. For example, if you're in real estate, try this out. Just do /deep research. That's another quick hack to get to that mode. And then say, create a one-page report on 2025 real estate investment trends in Texas, as an example, and watch what it does. I pretty much use deep research projects 70% of my prompts because I'm trying to get to an answer, and I don't want it to use only the information that it has. I need it to go search the internet as well. Hack number 11, calendar integration. GPT can read your calendar and give you insights or summaries. So in my book, Buy Back Your Time, I talk about doing a calendar audit. Most people are like, oh my God, that sounds like a lot of work. AI can now do it for you. Here's how it works. Go to your profile, go to your settings, then go to apps and connectors, and then it literally has Google Calendar, so you do need to connect it. But it's safe, it's secure. That's how we add it to ChatGPT. For example, once it's connected, I can literally ask it to check my calendar and tell me what tasks I spent the most time on in the last 3 weeks. It'll analyze every calendar entry and give you that answer. Only if you put stuff in your calendar, which you should, because that's what highly productive people do. Now, at the time of this recording, GPT can't modify, create calendar entries yet. But if you stick around until the end, I'll actually show you a workaround where you can get it working today. Hack number 12, email integration. This one is a must. You have to do this. It'll change the way you interact with GPT. Essentially, GPT can read and reference your email inbox. The way you do it, same thing, go to Profile, Settings, Apps and Connectors, and connect your Gmail. So now you can type, summarize every unread email from this morning, and it'll give you a short and condensed overview of those emails. So you can stay out of your freaking inbox and stay working. Pro tip, I would combine this with the reminder hack so that you get that summary every morning without going into your inbox and stay focused on the work at hand without worrying you're going to miss something. And just like the calendar connector, ChatGPT actually can't send emails yet. But again, I've got a hack for this at the end that's going to make it happen today. Hack 13, document comparison. Most people use GPT for legal stuff, but you can use it for comparing different documents where you're like, what did they change? I'm curious. So you can upload 2 documents and ask GPT to highlight the difference, and it'll give you the highlight and differences. So for example, I got these 2 service level agreements that got sent out. One came back. I want to know what they changed. I just drop it there. And then I type, show me a comparison of these 2 documents. Watch this. Boom. Here's a side-by-side comparison. So it creates this table and it literally goes and it says, oh, look at this. This changed, change summary, updated to a year. Oh, why would they do that? Services, payments. Oh, that's interesting. Higher rate, shorter payment window. So for example, I'm going to write, compare these 2 contracts and tell me which one is a better deal for me. Then I send it and it's going to tell me. Isn't that awesome? Verdict, better deal for you as a client, 2024 service agreement. Final verdict, and tell me why. Hack number 14, model switching. When GPT-5 came out and kind of consolidated everything, people started freaking out because they're like, I was used to using this and I was used to using this. Even though GPT-5 usually selects the right model behind the scene automatically for you, you can still choose the manual one from the past. Most people just don't know how to turn that on. So here's how we do it. We go to the profile, settings, general. There's a toggle, show additional models. Turn that on, and now in your chat window, you'll be able to choose the different ones. The reason you would do this is that if you've built other prompts on those models, you want them to be the same so that you can compare the same outputs. It's a little bit more technical and most people wouldn't consider this, but it's also for speed, it's for specific use cases. So I do this if I want to do a bunch of tests and I don't want to wait for the model to choose. I want to tell it which one to use so that the outputs are a lot faster. Hack 15, study mode. This is where you get it to act like a tutor. GPT can teach you any topic like a real tutor. And the best part is you can adjust it for any grade level. So in the chat window, you just click the plus and then go to more, and then you can see study and learn. So when you click it, now you can ask it to help me with my homework. You can even ask it anything. Teach me basic economics like I'm in the 10th grade. And the cool part, it'll stop and then ask you and quiz you to see if you actually know it. The other day, I was doing possessive plural nouns with my son Max because he's doing remote schooling, and I didn't understand all the ways that it's done. So we had to use this to teach us so that we could get his test done, because he was going to fail because we just couldn't grasp the concept. My favorite part is actually using AI not to do my work, but to teach me things, because then I can use that in my brain for other stuff. A lot of people are just deferring their thinking to AI. That's dangerous. Using this will teach you. Hack number 16, agent mode. This one's going to blow your mind. GPT can actually do tasks for you. Controlling your screen while you're doing other stuff, it can get work done. So the way we do it is we got to select agent mode or type agent. Okay, same thing. You just click the plus icon and go to agent mode. Now it's in agent mode. You can ask it to do things. For example, find 15 of the best restaurants in Dubai and build a spreadsheet with addresses, star ratings, and open hours, and link to their Instagram account. Now it's going to take that. It's going to run the project while I'm going to go do something else. What it's doing is it's like collecting information. It's saving it kind of like on a table like this. It's like printing off the pages and putting them there. And then at the end, it's going to like correlate it and say, okay, based on all these different sites, these are the top ones. I'll put that in a spreadsheet, open up Google Sheets and actually create the Google Sheet, put all the addresses in there with the information I asked for, and then give me that spreadsheet without having to touch my laptop. It can do lead generation for you. It could book travel for you. It could do big research projects for you. It can literally do anything. When all of a sudden the button clicks are done by the computer, you just have to be the director. You don't have to be the doer anymore. The next 5 hacks are all about apps, and you can activate them the exact same way. Hack number 17, Canva app. You can have the GPT create full presentations, social posts, essentially designs instantly. Most people stress. They're like, I don't have a designer on staff. You don't need one anymore. It's crazy. Just go to profile, personalization, apps and connectors, and activate the Canva app. Okay, so you will need an account and you'll have to sign into it. But now ChatGPT can talk to Canva to create the things that you want it from your chat prompts. Once you do that, we'll add it to the apps that are below in the plus icon so that you can instantly use it when you want to do something. So for example, create a 5-slide presentation about AI trends coming up for 2026. Boom, these are my slides. I can go through it. It does the research project. It tells me specifically what are the trends, etc., all magically through Canva. Think about creating customer proposals, communications to your team, research reports and visualize them, making things that are just words pretty. Hack 18, Spotify app. This one's got to be my favorite. I'll tell you why. It allows you to build curated playlists to focus or your mood or any kind of events. So how do you do this? Same process. You go into settings, go into the apps, then go to Spotify, and you just connect it. Now, once it's connected, check this out. You can do some really cool things. Create a 2-hour gym playlist based on the music that I usually listen to. So it's going to create that playlist. I can then use my phone and add it to my Spotify, save it, download it so I can use it offline. It even tells me why it chose those songs. For me, one of the hacks is I can't work without listening to music, but it can't have words in it. And I like EDM type music, but there's different vibes. So I'll just tell it to create a custom playlist based on the kind of work I'm about to do. It's kind of weird, but if you're a creative, this is a game changer for focus. Hack number 19, Coursera app. It will pull full courses. I'm talking training from Coursera to teach you and learn interactively. Same process. Just go into your profile, go into your settings, connectors and apps, and connect your Coursera account. So you do need an account. Connect it, log in, it's there. Now I can choose that Coursera app. So I go down here and it's there, and watch this. Find a beginner's course on editing in Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm not an editor. I don't even know anything about Adobe Premiere other than my team uses it, but it will find the course which would teach me how to use it, and then I can interact with that video. So it pins the video at the top, and then I can continue my chat, ask it other things, watch the video, ask it questions, tell me how that works, what's that button about. So much different than how I learned in school. Hack 20, Booking.com. All right, my travel friends, did you know within GPT you can plan or book your trips directly? Here's how you do it. Same process, connect the app, log in, boom. Now you just click that plus icon and you choose it. And then I say, plan a 4-day business trip to Austin, under $2,000, including flights, hotels, and things to do. It takes that. It goes to Booking.com. It tells it what I'm asking for. It does all the searches, does all the comparison, looks at the prices, looks at the things to do because it's got all the data, including flights, including hotels. It's crazy. Now I can book these within ChatGPT, but if it didn't, I could then switch to agent mode and then have it book them for me. And like sometimes it's cool because it'll even ask me clarifying questions I didn't even think about, like which departure city am I coming in from, or what are the dates, or etc. And then that uses all that information to put it together. And if you prefer Expedia, you can use that app extension instead. Hack number 21, Figma app. It allows you to create visual mock-ups and boards for design projects. So like kind of think of it like, scribbling and ideation and just keeping it super fun and visual. This is how I design a lot of the interfaces at my company, Martell Ventures. When I have new app ideas, new interfaces, websites, landing pages, you use Figma for this. So again, you go to your profile, app and connectors, and you connect it like every other app. But here's a fun one that every business should do. Build an org chart showing how roles connect in a small media team. Make it color-coded and easy to understand. Go find examples online of how media teams are set up for best practices and design me that structure using Figma. There you go. It showed me the roles, it color coded, it made it easy. Another use case for me is create a model that represents the replacement ladder by Dan Martell in his book, Buy Back Your Time. Ta-da! So if you've ever seen me draw circles, squares, triangles, Venn diagrams, etc., I can just get Figma to give me some first passes based on the information. So I give it the context. Here's what I'm thinking. This is how I think about it, the names, the language, and it'll design it for me. You have to connect these. Like if you're in business, use all these connectors because it'll change your productivity. Hack 22, data interpreter. GPT can run and visualize data and build small apps. The way you do that is you can upload any CSV file, a PDF, or even code, and just ask it to visualize it for me. I'm a visual learner. I need this. So I don't look at raw data. I always try to transform it into a picture that teaches me things. So for example, you can tell it to create data in a business and then apply a visualization on top of it. So I'm going to do it all in one shot. Create me fake data that analyzes a marketing funnel that I can visualize using the theory of constraint and save it as a CSV file. Using GPT to create simulation data for you to test other apps is actually a pro move that everybody should start doing. Using the data I just attached, I want you to analyze it through the lens of theory of constraints and tell me where the bottleneck is, but do an output that is visual using a canvas and make sure you give me a visual representation of that bottleneck on top of that data. I'm literally telling it to be visual using a canvas so that I can understand it easier. Hack 23, code review and debugging. ChatGPT can read, analyze, and fix your code for any built-in code reviewer. Now, before you leave, let me just tell you, if you use Excel or any of these Google Advanced Sheets, there's little code snippets you could be using in your business in these apps to make them work better, and you don't know how to do it, but you can use ChatGPT to actually write it, and then you just copy, paste it in. Or if you break something in the cell in like a sheet, you can copy, paste it in and say, what did I do wrong? Because I'm trying to get this output, but I'm getting this error, and it'll actually give you the answer to fix the code. So essentially you can upload any code files directly into chat, just paste it as a snippet, and then just ask GPT to review it or debug it. So for example, find any errors or suggest fixes for this Python script. Hack number 24, code and deploy web pages. This one's wild. You can turn GPT generated code into a live website in seconds. Paying people to build landing pages for you? Silly when you can do it yourself. So just ask ChatGPT to build your site. So for example, code a simple landing page for my coaching business. Now you just click the preview. It shows you the page that it just designed for you. Now I didn't give it any information. It took all the best practices. Look at that, scale with your team. It has the features page. It has the pricing, the testimonial section, etc. Now what's crazy is I can literally say, using Dan Martell's website as an example, redesign it, and then use this document with all the information about my company to fill in the copy. And if you don't have it, make it up. The whole thing's there. Now you just download the file and then you upload it into a site that can host like a GitHub. Now, those are my 24. But as I promised, here's 3 game-changing bonus hacks that'll change everything. The first one is for my iPhone users. Have you ever struggled with Siri and actually getting it to do what you want? Apple calls it Apple Intelligence. I think it's Apple frustration. I can't believe they launched this friggin' AI-powered crap. So essentially, when you use Siri, you can say skip Siri and go straight to ChatGPT integrated into Apple Intelligence. But it's an extension. Here's how we do it. So you go to Settings, you go to Apple Intelligence, Extensions, ChatGPT, and then you just log into your account. Then you click Setup, Next, and just enable ChatGPT. Now, it does require iPhone 15 Pro or newer, but it is awesome sauce. So next time you say, hey Siri, ask ChatGPT to write a 10-minute YouTube script about the best uses of AI, it'll do it using ChatGPT. Then you can say, hey Siri, make a new note out of this, and it'll save it straight into your Apple Notes. Do you see how freaking productive this is? Like, if you're not connecting these tools, you're just working way harder. Bonus number 2, Rube.app integration. So remember how I said there's ways that you can actually make ChatGPT create calendar entries and send emails? This is how we do it. You can connect any app to ChatGPT, even if there's no native connectors like the way I've showed you earlier. So how do you do this? For Gmail example, it's really simple. You just click your profile, go to your settings, apps, connectors, advanced, and turn on developer mode. What's cool is you can go to Rube.app, create an account, go to the marketplace and select any tool they have and connect it directly through developer mode by just copying and pasting what's called the MCP URL. MCP stands for Model Control Protocol, which is just a fancy way of how these apps talk to each other when it comes to AI. So let's do that. It's super quick. And we got to go back into our settings, and in the top right under apps and connectors, you'll see create. And that's where you plug the MCP URL into the app creator so that you can connect it from within ChatGPT to that app. So for example, now I can say, send an email to Sam telling him I did a great job on the last YouTube video, and it'll send that email. And with that, once you connect Gmail and Google Calendar, you can create entries, you can check emails, you can send emails, you can do a whole bunch of stuff that isn't native to ChatGPT and many others. Go look at the marketplace over on Rube.app. Bonus number 3, ChatGPT Atlas. You may not know this, but OpenAI just launched a new browser. So they're competing against Safari and Chrome, but it's powered by ChatGPT. How do you get it? You just go to the OpenAI's website, download it, and then just log in using your GPT account. Now, try it out. Just look at something simple like things to do in Dubai. Now it creates these tabs with home, search, images, and videos. You can even select articles from your search and open it on the sidebar. You can talk to it. You can ask, if I only have one day in Dubai, what's that one activity I can't miss? So it'll read the whole article and give me a very concise answer. The other thing it can do is agent actions, where GPT can interact with the web on your behalf to fill out forms, book trips, run tasks while you browse. It's essentially brought my favorite 2 things, AI and a browser together to make it really simple. So try it out. Find the 10 best things to do in Manly, Australia and put them in a Google Doc. That way I can get back to doing other stuff that only I can do, and I can share that Google Doc with my assistant and say, can you look into booking these? This is essentially the agent mode that I talked about earlier, but now I can use my computer while it's running. It's just super cool stuff, and they're just getting started with this. I mean, there is fears that, OpenAI is trying to become the new internet, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to be more productive and really take your ChatGPT to the next level, this is how we do it. I know, that was so many features, but here's the real deal. Pick the one that you were like, oh, that's really cool, and just start doing it every day. Over 14, 21, 60 days, it'll just become second nature. Then you can add another one and another one. Bookmark this video so you can come back to it, because I guarantee you're not using all of them. But over time, when you start adding a new one, you will become a freaking weapon. So here's my question. Which one do you think could actually save you the most time or change the way you work? Just drop me the answer in the comment below. And remember, if you haven't grabbed the AI Company Operating System Playbook yet, it'll show you exactly how to plug AI into every department and buy back your time. So click the first link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen and I'll send it over right away. Now, if you want to learn how to get ahead of 99% of the people out there using AI, click the video and I'll see you on the other side.